there's a great new feature in Clip Studio Paint called Time-Lapse Recording. What you can do, you can record what you've got on the screen. You can create all variety of things with text, as well as, of course, other things. You can use brush strokes, you can use effects. All of it can be recorded and then exported as an MP4 file. Now, the actual actions on the screen, so if you go to do filters and all that sort of stuff, that the menus are not saved. It's purely what is on the screen, and that's the thing. So I'm just going to run through this now. I've got some type here. I'm just going to remove those. Don't want that. So I'm just going to start completely back from there. So the thing is, file and record time lapse. Now I'm just going to quickly create the text first. So just going to create some and just going to, very basic text, Word. Now it's quite possible that not everything is recorded. I don't know. It's simple. And it's also sometimes possible at some points, and I have noticed this, and maybe it's a feature, that suddenly the recording is not, all the previous stuff is lost. So sometimes it just suddenly loses it. So I think if you're going to do this, I would suggest maybe exporting at certain points, so you save your work as you go along. So it's best to, if so, you don't want to be surprised later when you suddenly go through it and think, well, hang on, I recorded a load of stuff, where's that gone? Because I have noticed that. Maybe it's just my version. So just got this text, which I'm just going to quickly create there. And now what I'm going to use the record feature. Now you can do it from the start. You can go File and New, and you've got to record time lapse here. And that will record everything you do. Now, in this case, I'm going to go to File and Time Lapse, Record Time Lapse. So now it is recording. You can see a little tick there. And now you can see also you've got the export command. So now everything from this point is stored, hopefully, cross fingers. So you can just do various things. You can move it around. I'm just going to show you quick, move it around like that. You can resize. You can rotate. So if you rotate, now if I go to File and Time Lapse and Export Time Lapse, it's very quick. I know you can't slow it down. That would be a nice feature. You can stop. And you can just go through it manually like that. So now it's quite possible, I say, that not everything's recorded. So if it doesn't, well, I'm sorry about that. But anyway, so I'm still continuing. Now, it hasn't stopped recording. It's still now available. So I'm just going to, again, just want to rotate that back again so I can see it a bit easier than having it turn. Now, really useful panels to have around you at this point is Tool Property, Tool, Subtool Detail, etc. and Subtool over there. Because what you can do, you can go to Window, you can see them there, as well as Layer. So you've got Layer over there. And again, what you can do, you can then, with the Text Tool, that's the key thing over here, Text Tool, just select that. And then you can change and modify that. So again, you can modify that, size, and change the colour. I go for red, change it to green, and so on and so on. A whole variety, and these are all being recorded. Like I say, maybe sometimes certain things are not, so you've got to check. Occasionally just go back and look at the export just to see that it's actually saving what you think it's saving. You can also change the font, so say go for Lithos Pro, and maybe go for one of these other ones, and so on and so on. Maybe go and select another one, change that to purple, and you can modify other things. You can go outline, and that's all recorded. Cross fingers again. And you can obviously modify other things. Now I'm just going to stop at this point and now just quickly do some moving around again. And also what you can do, of course, it's a layer. It's a standard layer, so you can just go over here to the Layers panel, and you've got Layer menu and Duplicate Layer. And you can duplicate it. And again, Layer and Duplicate Layer. So you've got 3 copies of that. And of course, you can modify those in different ways. So again, just rotate that, maybe go back there, resize it, go to the Text Tool, resize that one. Now it's still type, you could still change it. So if you decide, you know what, I don't want the word word, I want EDAS, whatever, just some random words, something. So you've got some different, and you can of course edit that as well, move that around. Now what you can also do, of course, you can modify the colours of this one as well. So if you suddenly decide I don't want it purple there, I can go for red. You can then change other things. You can go to the other, but you can also, what you can do, you can go to filters. However, at this point, of course, you'll notice you can't apply it. What you can do, of course, is you can rasterize this. So layer, and you want to rasterize. So go back to the move tool. You can't, for some weird reason, you can't do it within the text. So you have to go to the there, and then go to layer and rasterize. So once you've rasterized it, now you can go to filter and blur. Unfortunately, it's not like Photoshop where you've got smart objects where you can sort of apply it and it will just pre-convert, sort of convert it for you. I wish it would do that, but it doesn't do it that way. So there's a blurring effect applied to that. And again, you can still move it around. You can distort it. So you can go to distort, twirl, and distort that, click OK. And you can duplicate that as well. So you can go to layer and duplicate layer. Make multiple copies of this there. And you've still got the other text ones here. You can see it's got the little A there, so it's text still. And you can still go to those and you can move those around as well. Now, of course, this is not what I would consider the most amazing. I'm just showing examples of what you could do with text. You could create, obviously, a nice sort of beautiful text video with lots of words, text coming in and out, zooming in and out. Obviously, it takes a bit of time, but you could just zoom it in, zoom it out, then maybe rotate text spinning around. So it's quite a nice, quick, easy way of creating maybe some, a nice sort of image video sort of start point for your video, sort of headline. Wow, this is amazing. Those sort of effects. There's a whole kind of things which you can, of course, once you've done this, you can export it, and that's the next thing to do. I'm just going to go to File and then go to Time-Lapse again and export Time-Lapse. You can see it there. I mean, okay, it's not going to win any awards in terms of type effects, but it's still just showing you examples of the fact you can record all these type effects. And then, of course, what you can do, you can say, yes, export, and you can save it as an MP4 file, click save. And once you've done that, of course, you can then import it into like Premiere and many, many other applications to modify the video. So you can then tweak some of the text. Obviously, it won't be live at that point, but it'd just be obviously video that you can modify in numerous ways, like say in Premiere, etc. Hope you found this tutorial of interest. Please subscribe to the Graphic Extra channel. Always adding new tutorials about Clip Studio Paint, Photoshop, Premiere, Illustrator, Affinity Photo, Painter, Rebel, and many others. I'm trying to think of all the names of all the various products. And also, any comments about what things I've done right, what I've done wrong in this, always be great to hear. Because, of course, I might be doing something you say, what did you do? What did you do at that point? Because sometimes, I can sort of do it maybe a bit too quick and you don't see it. I'm always happy to maybe redo this video or add additional things or show the finer points of a certain feature, and then I'll do that again. Also, a dislike or like. Thank you much.